Well, hello there, adventurer. So, you got to have a hacker mentality, right? Like, hacker mentality, um, we have some things break, so we just pivot, right? Like, I'm not gonna be mad about it. Whatever, you have to have the mentality that whatever happens, I just was doing a coaching on this about one of my favorite quotes is from Mike Tyson, great philosopher. Everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. Y'all had a plan today. Y'all had a plan today, didn't you? You had a plan today, and then like you got punched in the face. That happens. So, like this wasn't my plan today. I'm sure it wasn't your plan today. So, like we fix it. Like we use it to our advantage. Okay. And so I'm going to talk more about that later in coaching. But what I want to do is I want to explain what's happening, and then what I want you guys to realize is that when stuff happens in your life, whether it's Facebook, whatever, the amount of time that you take worrying, complaining, whatever, that's wasted energy. And that's energy that can be used to actually make something even better happen. Okay? So I'm going to show you the things that you can be doing today to actually turn the day around and make things better. So we will continue to give you guys updates um, on what's going on. What you need to do is just, if you haven't done so already, go and text the word nerd to 555-888 if you're in the US and Canada. If you do that, you'll get text alerts. You also get text alerts on things like what happened, like when things like this happen, we'll go and investigate it, and then we end up, we'll send you an alert about it or anything like this. So go ahead and like share this. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, now's a good time to do it, because in about 2 weeks in our social summer camp, if you guys aren't part of social summer camp, in about 2 weeks, what we're doing is we're actually going to be doing YouTube training. So anyway, how do you find out what updates Facebook is doing? We have a Facebook group on it called Talk Nerdy to Me. What's nice about that too is what's awesome about it is I usually tell you things that happen before they're happening. Which, by the way, did I not like 2 days ago say, "Hey everybody," right? "Hey everybody, there's some things happening, and Facebook's going to make big updates before the 4th. Remember last time and how they broke stuff? Pretty much, like if you're just the first time watching, it's not that I'm psychic. We know the things, right? We know the things. By the way, shirt of the day. One of my favorites. Hey, hey, girl. Hey, hey, girl. So let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about what's going on, what's happening. If you guys haven't hit that subscribe button or shared it or just leave a comment or whatever, let's pull up the outage. Okay, so let me take a look at this then. Okay, so here's our outage. This is a global outage that's happening, and let me explain what's happening. Is what will happen from time to time is that Facebook updates its servers. Now, for those of you who just say, "Well, I give up. I hate Facebook. I'm just going to go somewhere else." Okay, where are you going to go? Are you going to go to, number one, the amount of people that are on, like right now, the number of people that are on Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, and Snapchat, and LinkedIn combined don't equal Facebook. Okay, so every 29 hours, there's 1 million new people that are added across social media. So number one, Facebook's huge. Number two, the second largest is Instagram, which Facebook owns. And if we look at the top 5 fastest growing social media platforms, they're more chat-based. And the top 2 are WhatsApp and Messenger, both owned by Facebook. You're like, well, what's 3, 4, and 5? Why wouldn't you want 1 and 2? And by the way, 3, 4, and 5 deal with, unless you live in China or somewhere, it's not going to help you. Okay? So, like, what happens is you can't take your ball and go home. What I tell people is that, like, give yourself like 17 seconds. Be pissed off, throw something. But what happens for me is that when tension happens, I'll tell you, it took a while, but now I get excited. Something breaks, something doesn't go the way I want. And I'll tell you, for me, like, I haven't scheduled a live to YouTube and done it quite like this before. So guess what? I had to learn some stuff. I had to learn some stuff in 25 minutes. So, like, it's already made me stronger today. Like, I'm going to go and look at it and go, hey, well, you know what? Some new people are going to discover our adventures because of this. So it's awesome. But what happened is that, do you think it's probably a little bit hard to keep up with 1 million new people every 29 hours? Phew. Like, 1 million new people every 29 hours are added to social media. So, yeah, Chelsea says everyone should just go outside today. Well, that's part of it. I do think at some point I would say everyone just go outside. But I am going to say that there are some things that will probably give you an advantage if you don't go outside. And so I'm going to talk about it here. But there is about 3 times a year where Facebook makes pretty big updates, and you'll find that those patterns happen right before holidays. So always like December 19th, 20th, when employees are about to take off, they'll go and push some updates. They're also pushing updates around Christmas. Why? Because the most number of downloads will happen like within a week because of the number of new people that get phones. Okay? So they want to have the best experience because they're competing. This also happens right in May. That's why we do our Maymentum, because there's a lot of new features that happens and algorithm changes. So that's why I always start to try to teach you in April to get you ready for May with algorithm stuff. Another little one that happens is around the 4th of July, because what will happen is it's the second quarter of the year, and they want to have some good growth going into the summer. And so, and then a lot of people take off like right around July. So this is where we had some big updates. So what happened was some servers are being updated, and Facebook in and of itself is not down. There are just sections of Facebook that are down, okay? And so Facebook is still working, Messenger's still working, Instagram's still working, WhatsApp is still working. There are elements. Now, sometimes there are, like, there's different parts that are shut down, or like the whole system is shut down. But currently, there's just a couple of areas of Facebook. So does that mean, well, Facebook is down? No, Facebook isn't down. There's features that I wouldn't use. And because so many people are not educated, that's why you should get the idea of you should get your text alerts, and you should join Talk Nerdy to Me. We're not doing shows over the summer, but we still post updates in there over on Facebook. You should have that because it gives you an advantage. And I'll tell you, my only job as a coach is to give you an advantage. Like, as a dad, the goal for my kids is to give them an unfair advantage over everybody. When I was a headmaster of a school, do I want all children to win? Yes. Do I want my kids to beat your kids? Yeah. Like, our basketball team, state champions. Do I hope all the other teams, their kids are safe and yeah. But I want to beat them. I want to run up the score on them. Like, my job as your coach is to give you an advantage. That's what it's about. And so right now, this is about you getting an advantage. So I want you to think about this. right? I want you to think about this. If everybody is posting, what generally isn't going to work is pictures. So you'll see that like profile pictures aren't going to work. Some cover photos aren't going to work. Some GIFs won't work because a GIF, it depends how Facebook is dealing with it. Technically, a GIF is an image, but Facebook sometimes converts it to video. And so it just depends. And it also has been expanding. So we tried to even do a live earlier, and the live API is down. So you can't even go live. So you can't go live today, can't post a picture. So what's happening when people are posting a picture and it just comes up with a little error? It has no context. So those posts are, people are going to just scroll through them. So think what will happen. They won't get much love for it. They'll be frustrated. They're going to be like, what's going on? And they're going to waste all that time because they didn't already have the answers. I'm going to, let me actually show you an example of a post that I think you should do right now. So I do agree, like at some point, what you do is you go outside, you go outside. But what I would hate to do, and if I tell you, if Facebook was completely down, I would say, okay, so do you know all those other things that you keep saying you need to do? You should do them today. So like I have a stack right over here of thank you cards where I need to sign some stuff. I should go and do that right now, right? If it was down, all you have to do is, I'll tell you what champions do is they learn how to pivot. Like they learn how to pivot. That's what they do. And so if you're a champion and like your plan gets punched in the face, I'll tell you, you need to have a champion mentality. And the champion mentality isn't like, I'm going to go and, be all upset and mad and what am I going to do? And oh no, what you're going to do is you pivot and you adapt. Success so much has to do with adaptability. And so you absolutely must adapt. It's critical for your success. So here is, and so there's a lot that you can do. So for example, does Messenger work? Yes. Would I send images and GIFs in Messenger? I probably wouldn't. So I would probably do some follow-up. If something isn't working for you, I would go and do thank you cards. Today might be a day for you to go and I'm going to be doing some big hacks that I tested last night in Social Coach Pro. And I'll tell you, you should clean up your contact list in your phone because like that's important. We could go, like what Nicole says is if Facebook is completely down, pretend it's 1989. Why 1989? Now, like, why 1989? I wouldn't pick 1989. Maybe 85. I don't know. Anyway, you pivot, you do the things. So, well, I'm just not going to do anything on Facebook. No. There's a lot that you can do. In fact, the outage, I'll give you a little secret. It's not that big of a deal. Because the only thing that the outage is impacting, to be honest, is like your ability to post an image. So you just do a text post. Just do a text post. Stories are probably not going to work well, even if it doesn't include an image. Why? Because that's why you can't go back and edit a story, is because even if it's a text over a color, Facebook renders that to an image. So you're not going to be able to do that. So, but there's all the other things. In fact, I just was sharing yesterday that 25%, okay, this is insane. Do you know that only 25% of all Facebook users have ever clicked on the settings button? Are you freaking kidding me? Like that's, like what? What? Only 25%. So you know what you could do today? You could look at your settings. That could be a really good use of it. Good question um, by Lisa is saying, do emojis work? Yes, because here's what's interesting. Emojis are not actually an image. Every emoji is a little bit of a code, and each app uh, learns how to render that as a graphic, but it's not an image. That's why, for example, a birthday cake will look different on an Android versus Facebook versus if you text it on your iPhone. Because the Unicode Consortium, that just sounds like a big conspiracy. The Unicode Consortium, it's a real deal. Google it. They say, hey, these are the emojis, and then each company gets to draw it however they want. They say, hey, we think it should look like this, but each company can draw it however they want. So each one of your phones can draw it however you want. But good question. You could use emojis. That would be, oh, let me just stop. For awesome, your profile picture looks like you're 12, but I love your sense of humor. Are you pizza? Because I have a crust on you. Nice, well done. Let me show you this example here. We'll see if this will work. It might not work here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. It kind of works. See, like I bought this huge monitor. Like that's kind of like what your computer looks like. Welcome to my world. Okay, so this is an example of a great post because, sorry, this is a new feature that Facebook has that I'm testing. That's kind of cool. This is a great post. Why? Because it's not an image. It's not an image. Like it doesn't impact their servers at all. So, you know, I can use an emoji. Why? Because that emoji isn't, I'm not pasting. It's not like I'm in Word and I'm pasting clip art. It's literally like :screen : and Facebook will render it like that. On your phone, it looks a little bit different. And then, what did I use? I used a background color. Some of you guys, Royals, what a big post you have there. That's what she said. So this works out really, really great. Why? So we can even see like group photos up here. See how they're not working? But all this works fine. So right now, your post with background text, like you, with a background color, and using a couple of emojis, that post will blow up. Why? Because everybody's going to be frustrated at their timelines because like this isn't, like as images aren't working. GIFs may work sometimes depending on how they do it. Nobody's going live with stuff. So the people that are, oh, I hate Facebook, bye, they're missing out. They're missing out. Because this kind of post right here, like that's gonna blow up. You're gonna have to keep it short. Well, like I wanted to write, I'll tell you one of my favorite quotes is a Mark Twain quote, and it says, I would have written you a short letter, but I didn't have time, so I wrote you a long one. Which initially you're just like, wait, isn't that backwards? And it's like, no. To write a short, thoughtful post sometimes takes longer than to just ramble. Yeah, so Melissa is like verifying this. Is I use an emoji background on my posts, and I'm getting plenty of action. Absolutely, because what's happening here, and this is a coaching moment for you. And the sooner, I'll tell you, I used to get so frustrated where something would bother me for like 2-3 days, and then I got it down to like, 3 hours. Like it would ruin an afternoon. Before it would like ruin a couple of days. And that bad juju energy would follow me around. Right now, like I don't care what it is, it's going to impact me for about, no more than 30 minutes. But I'll tell you, my goal is to get it down to 3 minutes. Well, I'm probably down to 3 minutes now, but I want to get down to 30 seconds. So my goal is not to ever be immune to frustration. Some of you that it's like, you're like, I'm just going to be totally zen and nothing's ever going to bother me. You're a freaking human being. Stop that bull crap. Stuff's going to bother you. You have emotions. The only way to not have it bother you is to be a psychopath and then not let it bother you. No, it's going to bother you. But what we have to do is your job as a human is to take the amount of time that something bothers you and shorten it drastically. So some of you are at 3 days, and then you're trying to read some book and meditate and do yoga like it's not going to bother you anymore. No. Move it from 3 days to 3 hours, because that's a huge improvement in your life. Some of you, that's 3 hours, we've got to move it to 30 minutes. If you're at 30 minutes, like move it down to 3 minutes. I'm at 3 minutes, but I'm at 3 minutes after years of doing this. I want to get it down to 30 seconds. Right, and so Kina is saying, like, so many people are making angry posts today. Okay, so do you feel better? What did that post accomplish? You used your influence to be frustrated. Like, okay, is there a different way to word that? I'll tell you, you know what I did? I got people to sign up for text alerts. And all that's going to do is that angry post, the algorithm is going to go, oh, you want other people, you want that kind of thing. See, the algorithm is a child. It just goes, oh, that makes mama happy because mama likes drama. And so I'm going to show her now more drama. And then everybody is going to go. And so like everybody's going to go and like comment on that and do all that. And you're just, that's going to just fill your life. Why? It makes no sense. So they're just like, I feel like you waste a post when you do that. You waste a post. Doesn't make sense at all. And so this is something that you should do, is use a color background and use an emoji or two. Keep it short and brief. Can you address the outage? I mean, if you want. Some of it can be funny, is like, I'm sure there's going to be a million posts once the outage goes away that says, I survived the outage of summer 2019. But, making people laugh, that has value in the day in the day. So that's good. Maybe address it that, I think it's okay to, what would I post in my groups? Some of you guys are asking for the text alert. I'll do a post about that because I use a couple of different things and I wrote something custom that I think some of you will like that we're going to do. So I'll put something on that in Social Coach Pro. You can message the adventure team if you have any questions there. If you go to if you go to that website, they'll be able to help you out there. Okay. So the thing about frustration, one of the things that I do in Dream Coach is one of the principles that I really, really teach people is that let frustration shape your dream. So many of you want to avoid frustration. And all I'm saying is you don't want to avoid frustration. I don't try to avoid frustration anymore because frustration has shaped my dream more than anything. I'll tell you, even today, all the plans, I sat down and I wrote out my intentions today. I was so proud. I had like, these are the 3 things, like all of that. And then all of a sudden things blow up. Okay, well, here's what I know. I'm going to grow today, like in big ways. And I'm going to let that frustration shape me. It pushed me to go to YouTube 2 weeks early. Okay, well now I'm going to do that. Okay, and so all of that is going to be a big part of it. But absolutely, let frustration shape your dream. I would, by the way, I would be posting in your group. Like, this is a public video. Put the video in your group and say, hey, here's some things. Like, do your follow up. So we realize Facebook is a tool. Most of the people, they use Facebook as a toy. So let me just ask you a question. Do you guys use Facebook as a toy, or do you use Facebook as a tool? Most people use it as a toy. Instead of use it as a tool. A tool is part of, like, a tool is part of your toolbox. Facebook is an amazing tool. It should be in your toolbox. It is going to be the biggest way to connect with a lot of your audience and to find, like, it's an amazing tool. If you went to go build something and you only showed up with a hammer, you'd look a little ridiculous. Because what's really happening here is that one of your tools has a couple of features that aren't working temporarily. So you know what today is? Today is a day to examine your mindset. And you should examine your mindset and go, oh my God, I let that bother me? See, I have a business, I have a dream. Facebook is just in the toolbox. It doesn't, but that's the problem is many of you, your notifications on your phone are running your business. You're not running your business. Facebook is a tool, and inside of that tool, a couple of features aren't working. If that gave you any anxiety at all, you need to step back and examine your mindset. See, where I was a little bit like, oh no, when this started, I started getting really excited because I was like, man, now I can speak into some people's lives about, it's just Facebook. Like, Facebook is a big deal, but like it's a tool for you. And there's still amazing things that you can do on it. I just wouldn't go and drop images or GIFs because they're probably not going to work. And so when those don't work, when all the GIF replies don't work, like, slow down and leave a thoughtful comment. And if somebody's saying like, oh my God, Facebook isn't working, you know what I would do? I would go to those posts and go, hey, I just watched a great video about it. Message me and I'll teach you what to do. And guess what? Those people will message you. Send them our video. But it's not about us. It's about that you as a leader have information. See, you don't need to know all the things. We don't live in the information age. We live in the editorial age. You just have to. Like, your job is just to connect problems to solutions. Nobody cares about products. They care about solutions to their problems. And you're considered a leader or an influencer when you connect solutions to problems. So all those posts that are freaking out on Facebook, you know what? That's an opportunity for you. That's an opportunity to connect somebody. And now you can teach them a little bit. So like that's the idea, is that if you're overwhelmed and you don't know what to do and all the other stuff, examine your life. This is where we talk about, you just need to know, like, what's your default? Hey, what's your default? My default is, hey, like, something gets thrown off, I just do a quick reset. So I'll tell you that there's some people that they're going to take a break and not post or do anything because they're overwhelmed. And guess what? The algorithm is cumulative. And so now they're going to have a little bit of a dip. So guess what? Make a post and then go outside if you want. But the fact is that Facebook being down or not has any impact on your business. Okay, re-examine that. It should take you 3 minutes. It should take you 3 minutes to pivot, and now you have an advantage. Yeah, so like Royal was saying, if you have a live scheduled, guess what? Just if it was like a big deal and you can't reschedule it, number one, things are probably going to be up. I imagine that the outage won't last too crazy long. So if you had a live tonight, you're probably still going to be good, but you could always like do what, do what we do. I pivoted to YouTube, and I'll probably pick up a lot of new people because of it. So Frances said that she had a scheduled live tonight. You still might be okay. But unless you actually schedule it through the API, if what you mean by that is you have an event or you told people you're going to be live at a certain time, it's fine. Tell them that you're going to be live on YouTube and then go live on YouTube. What I might do is if the outage is going to be too much longer, like in a couple of hours, I'll keep the updates and Talk Nerdy to Me, and we'll also send you text alerts. So make sure that if you haven't done that yet, you do that. I'll give you guys a quick tutorial on how to schedule a live on YouTube. You can do it right from your phone, and it works great. And so that's a good idea. Thank you guys for suggesting that. I'll probably plan on doing maybe one a little bit later in the afternoon or tonight to teach you what to do. But Facebook probably, it's going to be at least down for the next 4 hours, but it could last into the evening. So if you can't reschedule it, then guess what you're going to do? You're just going to we're going to schedule your YouTube live. And what's nice is you can schedule it and still go from your phone, unlike Facebook. So YouTube has an advantage there. And then what you can do is you can text people that link. You can post that link. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to just turn everything around, right? We're going to take, we're going to do some social media judo. And I'm going to teach you some good, digital kung fu today. We're gonna take, lives are down, so they're probably not working. It's hard. T-Money says, I heard 6 p.m. But if it was 6 p.m., I think what they're saying is probably by the end of the day, they hope to have it done. And that's probably Pacific time. So that might be outside your guys' window or not. So, but either way, we'll try to help you out with some of that. And so, you might end up you might end up having to reschedule. We'll see. But I'll go ahead and I'll do. Sorry, I'm using a beta thing. Oh, you like my shirt? Thanks. It's hey girl. Hey. Okay, so thanks for tuning in. We're going to give you more updates, getting those text alerts. Also, I'm also going to put the link here for facebook.com/groups/adventure hacks. You should be able to go there, or we can go there as well. Okay. Ivy says, would this be a good time to share a text post to educate about that? I mean, it depends. If you're trying to be, if you were like a health coach, I would use that as a time to say, hey, now is a good time to go outside. Okay. I'm not saying you should. I'm saying as a health coach, hey, I would use it as, hey, I would post your workout, or let's do a live together. If for example, some of you use oils, now is a time to go, hey, if this bothers you, you need some oil in your life, right? That's the thing, is you have to get to the point that no matter what is thrown at you, you just pivot. So come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. I have 22 plus years of, you're going to break stuff. We're just going to use it to our advantage, right? We're just going to use it to our advantage. If you did request to join Talk Nerdy to Me, we will we'll get to your request. The team is working through that. So if you were trying to so understand that I don't really like the word leadership, but because they're just, I think most people, they don't talk about leadership, they talk about management, and management is meant to control people, and people aren't meant to be managed. You manage things, you don't manage people. You mentor people. And so what I would do is, if you were a coach, depends what is the solution you're trying to solve. If you're not trying to educate people on Facebook, why talk about it? But would I use that event to say, let's go outside? Would I use it to say, let's do this? Would I use it to say, hey, let's go on Zoom right now because Facebook isn't there? What you do is you figure out a way, right? Like, that's the thing. You make it work. You make it work. For me, I just go from there. Why are you asking for personal info from the text? So number one, we ask for your email because that's kind of like a username. And so if you have an account with us, that allows us to attach text alerts. We want to know your first and last name just for customization. You can skip that question. We ask for your birthday because we want to send you something cool on your birthday. And then we ask for, hey, what question? Because we take those questions and we use that for our coaching. So, that's what we do. And kind of my approach is this: I give people a ton of value, and we don't ask for a lot in return. And so what happens a lot of times is there's just becomes like a lot of people that just anonymously want to just take stuff. And so hey, we're willing to start a relationship with you. We're going to give trust as a gift. So we ask that you trust us back. So, you don't actually have to fill out the birthday. We only, that's for a future feature that's coming out where we give you something special on your birthday. So that's what we're doing. It's limited on our system how much we can put in there, but we'll look at adding that to there. But you should be able to even just skip it. Okay, so we're going to get back to fixing all the things and doing all the things. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure that you follow the groups and get those text alerts. I'm going to also, what I'll do is I'm going to try to pivot, and I'll try to do a little bit of a YouTube live tutorial and give you guys some suggestions on some things. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, share this. Hope today has a good you. Go do the things, and your adventure begins right now.